Hey everyone, this is the Burning Donut reporting as live as possible in recorded format. It is true that I really didn't want to speak out on the whole Toon Critic thing more. And like, I even said in my last video that like, this would be like, that was really all that I had to say on the subject. Unfortunately, stuff has happened, stuff is popping up, and I kind of feel I should say some things. One of the things I absolutely don't mind doing is admitting when I make a mistake. The mistake I made in the last video was where Vita got the information from. It is absolutely true that Vita did not get the information from the person who was, from the person in the chats. That was a false narrative that was provided by several chats that I was in, and I was going off of information that they gave me because at the time I kind of assumed they were trustworthy. I am no longer in those chats at the moment for varying reasons. Another subject I would like to bring up is that a lot of people seem to be thinking that I brought up Vita for no reason. I just kind of like, oh, well, I don't like Vita, so I'm gonna put a rant on him in this unrelated video. Well, part of the reason I want to discuss people like Vita is because there is a lot of discussion about behavior and trying to put a stop to it. Before it hurts people. And in my last video, I had mentioned how there were two sides of the fandom. There's the little kid side, and then there's the toxic side. Well, Vita very much represents the toxic side. And it's not specifically focused towards Vita, but like people like Vita and f.a.r.p and all the really just drama-hounded people, there's a lot of behavior where people just want to get attention and they hear a juicy story and just jump on it. Now, I have done a fair amount of research, tried to look into things about the Toon Critic situation specifically, and I gotta tell you, holy shit. Like, I mean, I knew it was bad, but like, holy fuck, it is worse than I could have, like, I don't even know anyone in real life who has hurt more people than Toon Critic. I'm aghast. Okay, not only that, but I saw a tweet from Horse News, and it actually seems to be confirmed that there was actually a rape, that Toon Critic actually physically raped someone. And I have to admit, when I saw that, I was just like, holy shit. I don't care how SJWE this makes me sound, but if you were to ask me, like what is one of the unforgivable crimes to commit towards another person, it would be rape. One of the things that I found most interesting is the line of, she could have gotten pregnant, and it's a good thing she's recovering from it. Now, honestly, I'm not going to ask any more details. I'm not even going to like say the name of the person involved, because like this is not an h.a.r.p. This is actually physically going up, forcefully forcing yourself upon someone, and pardon my language, but basically coming inside them against their will, and that is not a forgivable thing for me. Another thing is, with all the talk of forgiveness, I keep seeing this phrase being thrown around a lot, is Toon needs to earn forgiveness. And I think, as far as like an opinion goes, one of the best videos made is Sketchy's, the Sketchy the Changeling, and he basically says that forgiveness is earned. I would like to add on to that, where forgiveness is not up to us. Forgiveness is not up to me, it's not up to the fandom, it's not up to anyone. Forgiveness for Toon Critic is up to his victims. And for us to even assert or imply that there is any type of, that like they should, before they feel like doing so, forgive Toon, is quite frankly one of the most disgusting things I could fucking think of. He hurt people. And a story about a girl, her username is Massacre Molly, and she was apparently one of his victims. The thing that makes me feel particularly dirty about this is, I remember I was actually in limbo at one point when Toon was re-added, and he came up and it was like, oh dude, she's a I don't like this girl. She's a crazy psycho stalker, is obsessed with me, and, you know, before I grace limbo with my presence, please remove her immediately so that I can grace you with my proper presence. And, like I said, I was a mod in Limbo at the time, and, I didn't question this. I didn't stop to think, like, hey, wait a minute, what is her side of the story? What is her side of, you know, the events that happened? And I think that right now, one of the things that, like, as a fandom, we owe the victims is that if they choose to come out and tell a story, we owe them the platform to give that story. The 100%, like I've actually, like, Misanthropony, on his channel has a story by a victim. I've seen plenty of the people releasing, like, actually being able to tell the stories of what happened, and finally able to just get this huge weight off their shoulder, and, like, quite frankly, it's pretty crazy. Another thing I'd like to say is there is actually more discussion on this. Like, Lily Pete, in Lily Pete's video, and I know a lot of people don't like her and say she's a, you know, and she is a complete raging SJW attention whore, and if we are to take what F&GR says seriously, she knew about this as it was happening, so she herself was part of the problem. And I would like to give props to British Ninja and Kichi FIM, because they both are doing an amazing job of, you know, treating Toon as he should be treated. You know, they're the ones who are spearheading kind of the information getting out, and is actually, like, doing their best to prevent misinformation from getting presented. One of the things that, like, I would like to hit on later, Lily Pete had an interesting perspective about, like, how there is a lot of, shall we say, questionable material presented by artwork and stuff that is related to the Brony fandom, and how it is absolutely not a safe place for children. And I would like to say that coming from the furry fandom, the Brony fandom is ever the first environment I've ever seen where they kind of try to combine, like, the adult side with the children's side. You know, most fandoms, there's always been an unspoken rule that, like, this is the adult side of the fandom, where people are more concerned with everything from, like, the production, the artwork, and, you know, things like that. And this is the children's side of the fandom, where people might be interested in, you know, talking to voice actors and things like that. The Brony fandom has done this weird trying to combine the two worlds into one, and it doesn't work. And that's something I think that, especially as an artist, I could actually provide a fairly decent perspective on later, but that's a different video. So, oh god, okay. My closing statement is basically going to be, Toon Critic is a massive pile of shit, is a total fucking creep, and, like, wow. And while I never defended him, I'm starting to see why people were saying that I wasn't bad enough on him in my last video. So, like, as far as that, no, I get it. It's okay. Like, he's a fucking piece of shit. Okay, thanks for listening. Donut out.